John Morgan here, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, if you're joining me today, Christmas is arriving at Bob's. And as you can see, I've changed up our background here in honor of Christmas. So today, first off, it's been a couple weeks since we've had an episode of Bob's Live, and that's because a couple weeks ago I was off that Tuesday, so there wasn't an episode that day. And then last week, we're in the process of changing out our time clock system here at Bob's Market. And that means that me, being the IT guy, needs to install all of the new time clocks. So this time last week, I was actually on a semi on my way to Pittsburgh to install a time clock up there at our warehouse. So that's where I was last week. So we're going to have a show this week, next week, with Thanksgiving. I'm not entirely sure yet if we're going to have an episode next week. And then we're going to have episodes up to the week of Christmas. And that week, I'm actually going to be having surgery on that Tuesday, on the 23rd. So we obviously won't be having an episode that day. And then the week after that, I am not sure. It depends on my recovery. So, but yeah, that's kind of the upcoming schedule for Bob's Live. Anyhow, yeah, Christmas is here, and tonight I wanted to cover the two main things that we have at Bob's at Christmas time, and that's poinsettias and Christmas trees. So up first, I thought we would head out to the greenhouse to check on this year's poinsettia crop. Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses, and today I am up here at our Uptown greenhouse in Mason, West Virginia, where we're growing our 2024 poinsettia crop. And pretty soon, these poinsettias are going to be heading out to our stores and other wholesale customers. So let's dig in a little deeper, take a look. These poinsettias got their start all the way back in June as little unrooted cuttings down at our Fieldhouse location that you can see from the bridge whenever you cross the Ohio River. And we stuck them into soil, grew roots on them, transplanted them, and now they're up here growing into a finished product. Here uptown, we not only have the large greenhouse here behind me full of poinsettias, we also have these smaller houses with poinsettias also. And in here we have a lot of the different color mixes. So let's check out some of the different varieties that you can find. For example, in here we have red and white, but then we also have these pink varieties. And over there are some with a little bit of variegation in the leaf. So it's a white leaf with just a hint of pink in the middle. So that is a quick look at our 2024 poinsettia crop. And as I said, these will be heading out to our stores pretty soon. And in an upcoming video, I'll tell you how to care for your poinsettia once you get it home. So that is our 2024 poinsettia crop. And as I said in an upcoming video, I'm going to head out to one of our stores and go a little bit more in depth with poinsettia care. Believe it or not, our very first YouTube video all the way back 15 years ago, which you can still go find it on YouTube. I look a lot younger in that video. Um, but our very first video was on caring for poinsettias. And yeah, now today, by comparing video standards, um, that one, it wasn't shot in HD. It looks like it was recorded with a potato. So I definitely need to re-record a video about caring for poinsettias. So that's something that I'm going to be working on here in the next few weeks once we start getting poinsettias at our stores. Up next, I thought we would take a look at the weather. Right now, of course, there's not a lot you can be doing out in the garden as far as weather's concerned. Um, but we are getting quite a bit of rain today. And there has been a burning ban in West Virginia. I know a lot of folks this time of year are trying to clean out your flower beds and your gardens. And maybe if you own a farm, you're cutting some brush. And it's a time of year where you need to be burning brush piles just to get rid of all the stuff that you've cut down. So hopefully with this rain, that burning ban will be lifted so we can start, burning brush piles and clearing off land, which, this time of year, it's a great time to be doing that. Also, there's something about wintertime and a nice bonfire on a cold night. But also, we've got a hunting season coming up. Which right now, if you're a bow hunter, had bow season. But with firearm season coming up, I want to take a look at the upcoming weather for the week ahead. So looking at the week ahead here, which nice ad there. Let me cover that up. I'm just using the weather app built into the computer. But yeah, we're looking at the 25th and 26th. Might be a little bit rainy. So hopefully that forecast changes for the opening day of gun season. But yeah, it's looking a little bit rainy and cool heading into next week. Last year, I know it was not rainy, but it was extremely cold. I distinctly remember sitting outside freezing last year. So yeah, that is a look at the forecast coming up. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is, well, what I've got behind me here, and that is our Christmas trees. Over the last few years, we've actually had trouble finding a consistent supplier for our Christmas trees. A lot of Christmas tree businesses during the recession back, 10, well, now almost 15 years ago, a lot of Christmas tree growers back then went out of business, and they also scaled back their production. Well, the problem is that Christmas trees take, 7 to 8 years to grow to grow an average sized Christmas tree. So that kind of ripples ahead in time to now. This year, back in the summer, Scott and Anna took a trip down to North Carolina, to be exact, the Asheville area, to look at Christmas tree farms in that area. And we have partnered with a Christmas tree farm down there called Cartners, and they were impacted by Hurricane Helene, but luckily it didn't affect all of their farm. It mostly affected the infrastructure, like the roads getting into the fields and things like that. So we are able to get Christmas trees from them this year. But another interesting thing is that they are providing the official White House Christmas tree that'll be inside the White House this year. So that's pretty cool. We've got guys that are going down, they're actually headed down there today to get the Christmas trees. And it's also the same day that they're picking up the Christmas tree for the White House. So I'm hoping to get some photos and some stuff back from that trip. So you'll be seeing more of that later on this week. But in the meantime, I thought I would share a video from Cartners about their Christmas tree farm, the White House Christmas tree, and it would give you a little bit of a peek into where we're getting our Christmas trees this year. So let's check that out and learn a little bit more about Cartner's Christmas tree farm.
We're in Newland, North Carolina on the Cartner Christmas tree farm, which was established by my mother and father in 1959. And we're privileged to be able to send a Christmas tree to the Blue Room in the White House in 2024. I'm David Cartner.
And I'm Jim Cartner. I'm a veterinarian from Statesville, North Carolina.
I'm Sam Cartner. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers, currently working on the farm.
Hello, I'm Ronnie Beam. I'm the farm manager of Cartner Christmas Tree Farm in Newland, North Carolina. I've been with them for about 39 years. I started in 1984.
He built this farm with my father, and we owe all the credit to Dad and this guy right here. And he's still running the farm and producing great trees. In fact, he picked the national tree that we won with.
It takes a lot of faith to grow a tree. You plant a tree out and you wait 8 years. You spent money on that tree for 8 years to grow it up 8 foot tall. It takes a lot of faith, and Sam Sr. had the most faith in anyone I've ever seen.
I work with the greatest people in the world, and I truly mean that. The people that work with us, we're family. The people that have been with us for 30 years, we meet every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and everybody comes in such a great mood, seeing what we're going to do today. No matter what the weather or conditions, it's just an awesome feel.
Okay, this is one of the 6 trees that we picked out for the selection committee at the White House to look at. They have certain requirements for the spacing that they have. They want a tree less than 12 feet wide, but as close to that as possible. They like the tree at least 18 feet tall, and a full tree with a nice singular top and good color, good foliage, and good density. The tree will be cut and rolled in burlap. It will be loaded on a refrigerated truck provided by the Department of Agriculture and transported to Washington, where it will be put on a wagon, horse-drawn wagon, and taken to the White House.
If you want the best Christmas tree, it's got to be N.C. Fraser Fir.
So that is a little bit about Cartner's Christmas tree farm. If you want to learn more about them, in the show notes for this week's episode of Bob's Live, I have a little button that you can click, and that will take you to the About Us page on their website, so you can learn a little bit more about the history of their Christmas tree farm. And I think it's just great that we chose them to partner with them for our Christmas trees. You know, of course, it was before the hurricane and everything. So, in a way, if you purchase a Christmas tree from us, you're helping the local economy there, and they definitely need it right now for recovery. So, yeah, those trees will be arriving this week. I know driving by the store today at Mason, they've got the parking lot set up for Christmas trees there. So, yeah, stop by and check out the Christmas trees. Thanksgiving is the perfect time, to get a tree and decorate it and have it all the way through the holiday season up through Christmas and New Year's. And we're going to be covering in the next few weeks how to care for your cut tree indoors, how to recycle it after the end of the season. Ideally, you want to dispose of it in a responsible manner, whether it's composting it or even putting it in a pond to be used as like a fish habitat. I know a lot of people that do that. There's a lot of options other than just chucking it out by the curb for the trash guy. We're going to be talking about that in the coming weeks. Also, like I said, we're going to be doing an updated video on caring for poinsettias. Because, the old one, it's really dated. But we're also going to be addressing something that I posted on Facebook this week, and that is the fact that poinsettias, they kind of get a bad rap. They're not really poisonous. I mean, sure, they do have some amount of toxin in them, but to have an ill effect from that, you would literally have to eat your body weight in poinsettia leaves. So, I want to help dispel that myth, and that's probably going to be something that I'm going to be doing on a TikTok live. I know a few years ago, if you've watched Bob's Live for a while, I made a poinsettia smoothie and drank it live on the internet, and I'm still here today. This year, I might be doing a poinsettia salad. I'm kind of wondering how poinsettia goes with like ranch dressing, or maybe a nice vinaigrette, or something like that. So that's something you could be looking forward to. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. But that will be in upcoming live videos. And that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. So until next time, keep growing.